and welcome. I'm Hannah from Who Dolls, and today I'm sharing the process of a plant doll. I am using this sad broken Venus McFlytrap that had been so damaged in her previous home. I just didn't know what to do with her. As you can see, her only hand is missing a finger and the rest of the hand is a hot mess. Men skam den som ger sig. So, I do the prepping like usual. Here I have skipped the getting rid of the hair phase and I jump directly on the getting rid of the face phase. The flocking needs to go, so I drench it in acetone and leave it for a couple of seconds. Then one can scrape it off. And here we have the head, ready for some MSC. This is something that has been requested actually, to show how I spray with MSC. Please don't mind the ugly furniture, this is an unused house on my property and this is my spray station. I use Mr. Super Clear Matte and it goes like this. I don't know if I'm doing it right, I just know that it works for me. Back to the crime scene. I am going to use the regular Apoxie Sculpt for the hand, but for the arm I'm trying a new one called Control Cast. This is also a two-part epoxy, but very different. It came in 2 Ziploc bags in a carton, but since the yellow bag was sticky, I decided to move them over to 2 clean glass jars. Gloves, mix by weight, work time 10 to 20 minutes and gel time is 40 minutes. I don't know what gel time is, but if you do, please leave a comment. So from now on I'm mixing all epoxy by weight. This scale is showing grams by the way, so I have 1.3 grams of both parts, together 2.6 grams. The epoxy clay has a longer working time, up to 3 hours, so if I'm working on more detailed pieces, I guess this is the one to use. I took roughly the same amount of clay to compare the weight and concluded that Apoxie Sculpt weighs around twice as much as Control Cast. I started with the Control Cast, but I unfortunately failed to record the sculpting process. I did use a leaf from my only houseplant though as a reference and ended up with this. I'll come back to this though. Then I mixed Apoxie Sculpt, cut off some fingers and sculpted the hand. I mix my epoxy like I cook my pasta, way too much, and I always end up with leftovers. This time I made an impulse decision to sculpt the top piece from it. After 24 hours, both clays have cured and I can use my Dremel to sand it down. To attach the arm. I made some more leaves using control cast to build on the big one. As a base color, I use turquoise, which I, after the base coat, mix with titanium white to get 2 additional shades. When I thought I was done, I decided with the help of some reference pictures of tropical leaves to go in with some dark green. I used the Army Painter acrylics for this part. Face up. I outline the eyes with a dark brown watercolor pencil to get the shape right and to hopefully get them somewhat symmetrical. I start with some soft pastel as a base for the eyebrows and then erase the edges with my eraser pen. While I drew the eyelashes, I realized that I pressed too hard with the pencil, which leads to thicker strands. I like the look of natural lashes, so I'll be more mindful of that on my next custom. Here I go in with some black pastel to shade some areas. Time to assemble her. As usual, I make 3 small cuts inside her neck to make it easier to pop her head back on. Phew, that part always makes me nervous. And now her face up and body modification is done. But I want to make her more plant-ish, which I will do with some Fimo clay. I use this chart a lot. I'll leave a link to the digital version of it in the description. It's a mixing chart for Fimo clay, and with it you only need red, green, blue, yellow and magenta to be able to mix any color. If you add black and white, you can also mix any shade, so that's neat. I wanted to mix the color B2, which needs 7 parts blue and 3 parts green. The blue weighs 2.8 grams, which means that 1 part weighs 0.4 grams, thus I'll need 1.2 grams of the green clay. Sorry for the trapped perspiration, aka hand sweat. It was the hottest day of the year and these gloves were awful to work with. Here's the finished headdress that I made from those 2 colors, plus black and white. Time for the hair. I use wefts made from different kinds of yarn that I glue directly onto the head. To make it all come together, I added some fake grass to both the headdress and the body modification, and then I temporarily put her hair in pigtails. I don't know why, I just did. The skirt is just a simple circle skirt. On top of it I added some branches or roots, if you will. On top of the roots I added more of the fake grass. When the doll is technically done, I love to add details. Here I make a bunch of hoop bracelets. It's really easy and fast to make. But then I decided that she needed some shoes too, so I'll repaint these. I start by cleaning the original paint off with acetone, and can we just take a second to appreciate how detailed these shoes are? It's so much fun to bring the details to life. I start with the Armor Painter Leather Brown to paint the shoes. I love these paints. They have great coverage and comes in drop bottles, which is really neat. Now they have their base paint layer and details will be brought out with the help of pastels and gold paint. Here you can see the difference before and after pastels. It's subtle, but it's there. The right one is done. Now I'll just have to finish the left one and then she is finished. And here she is. I decided to braid her hair and added some orange cord to her braids, and I'm really glad I did. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. Some projects never reach YouTube and I share these pieces of these projects there daily. See ya!